Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric. Today we're going to take a look at a eShop indie title by the name of Inversus. This looks like a little puzzler shooter type of game. Looks straight up my alley, has a retro little bit of graphics, arcadey feel. How is it? Does it play good? Is it worth it? Let's find out in today's review. So Inversus is a unique shooter game developed by a one-man crew. It's a deluxe version of the game, and it contains a whole bunch of new content over the original release. And with the Nintendo Switch's ability, it can be played anywhere on the go. So, you know, why not? Let's try it out, right? You take control of a squared-shaped character that has a certain amount of bullets. Your square can only move through tiles of the opposite color on the screen. The same colored blocks on the grid are barriers, though these can be shot with your weapon. Now, Inversus is heavily focused on multiplayer. It can be played local co-op or online. So either way you slice it, there's plenty of different ways to play with other people. And the best thing about it is if you don't have friends like me, you can play multiplayer by yourself. You can have computer opponents playing against you. So this game actually covers all bases very cleverly. It's a very pick up and play, easily accessible game for a lot of people. The options for just about any configuration of players are pretty nice. You can play online with anybody, and as I mentioned, you can play in both modes solo with computer opponents playing in. Now there's two main modes to choose from, Versus and Arcade. In Versus, you're tasked with destroying everybody that is the opposite color of you with your weapons. You use the arena to your advantage. It's basically self-explanatory. Not too hard, and when you play with more characters, with more people, it actually gets a little bit chaotic. It's a 1 to 4 player fight to the death, and you could even do 1v1 or 2v2. And as I mentioned, the opponents can move through your barriers, and your space is their wall. So different opposite colors of whatever your character is and what your enemies are, you can't cross into, but their barriers is their same color. It's hard to explain, but when you play there, it does give a good element of strategy, and it's quite fun. Now, arcade mode has you deal with enemies in waves, and these enemies approach you from all sides. There's 10 unlockable stages, and each stage you can earn 5 stars based on what your score is. You improve your score by chaining up enemy kills based on how close they are to one another. So when you have opponents close to each other, you can basically like shotgun shoot them to kill multiple ones at a time. It ranks up your score. Yes, this is a score attack type of game. The score is the key, and there's even online leaderboards, which is pretty nice. You can compete with different players around the world, or you have bragging rights at home. When you have a game over, you acquire XP. In both arcade and versus modes, the controls are the same. You use the D-pad to move up, down, left, or right, and A, B, X, Y to shoot in one of the same directions. So the A button shoots right, Y button shoots left, X up, B down. Takes a little bit of getting used to, having to remember that each face button shoots a different direction specifically instead of facing the direction and shooting. But it's not too bad. The game is actually really easy to get the hang of it after a few times playing through, and it's very fun to play portably. You can hold down the fire button to increase its power, and you also have limited ammo by the number of little squares that you have inside your square. Your shots do refill over time slowly. So overall, Inversus is quite a neat little game. As I mentioned, there's nothing to it. It's simple. The fact that it's minimal in its gameplay mechanics makes it so easy to play. It's these type of arcade games that I actually really enjoy. I'm all about games like Inversus and Graceful Explosion Machine. Games that really have no point, no plot, except try to get the best score you can. I think they're some of the most fun games to play, especially if they're multiplayer friendly like Inversus. So overall, I think Inversus is definitely a game that is worth checking out for your Nintendo Switch, just for the fact that you can play online and in local couch co-op. It opens the world to a whole bunch of possibilities when you're wanting to play a quick game with a quick matchup. So yes, Inversus is definitely worth a look, guys. That's it for today's review. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to the channel, leave a subscription, hit that like button, comment below. I'll see you next video, guys. Peace out.